Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm going to be doing something slightly different in this video. No nerdles today, not in this video anyway. We're going to be doing 3 Wordle variants. Everybody knows Wordle, but I'm going to do 3 that you may not be quite so familiar with. If you've seen the title and you want to know the one that's lying to you, then as you can see that's called Fibble. We'll do that third, we'll do that at the end of the video. So to start with, we're going to be doing Warmal, and as you can see, tells you if you've gotten close. So I find this the easier of the 3 variants that I'm going to be doing today. So as you can see, it gives you a random guess to start with. This G means that the first letter was close to G because it's yellow. So that already gives us quite a lot of information. So maybe it could start with F. Let's try R for the second letter, because then we can have U next. I've got no idea where I'm going with this. In fact, I think we could have that, but I'm obviously going to need to put an L instead of an R second. That gave us a few bits of information, so I'm thinking hound now, because if it's I blank UN blank, don't really like the look of that, and similarly with the D and the E. So can it be hound? No, it can't, but it could be something like haunt. Yeah, there we go. 1 in 3. That's not too bad. I told you this was the easier one of the 3. Let's see if that plays true. So we'll now go on to the exordal. So there are 2 words to guess, basically, and again it gives you a guess to start with, and there's a green eye here, so what that means is that at least one of the words has an I in the second position, and there's a yellow Y at the end, which is interesting. So at least one of the words has a Y, but it's not last, so I'm going to try yacht, and that hasn't helped. Okay, so there's a Y, but it's not first or last. So what I like to do with this one actually is try and guess some letters that we haven't had yet. So I'm going to try flower. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different letters in total, and we need up to 10. So don't forget, there could be letters that appear twice in one word or appear once in either word, or more than once. So we're looking for a maximum of 10 letters. Obviously once we've got 10 different letters, then that's should be fairly straightforward. It would just be a case of anagramming them into 2 5-letter words, but we're not there yet, so let's try and get a bit more information. I'm going to try to use some new letters. So I was thinking spoke. I'm going to try spike actually, to see if there's another I in the middle, and there isn't, so that yellow I is probably the second letter. We've ruled out the E as well, which is probably quite useful. So now, of the letters that we haven't used, I'm thinking B, G and M are fairly common letters compared to the other ones anyway. So I'm going to try gumbo. We know it's not correct because we haven't got the U, but it might give us some information. So there, we've got the G and the B were correct. So now we've got 8 different letters in total. So, can we now think of a word that's got a Y, or maybe it ends Y-O-R, like mare, but it's obviously not mare. If it's not, where could the Y go? I was thinking bayou as well, with the Y in the middle, but we haven't got a U. What could go, if it doesn't end Y-O-R, where would the Y go, and what would go after it? Oh, it's a difficult one. And actually, what have we got as the first letter? So it's not going to be G, S or Y. I'm thinking B as one of the first letters. I'm going to try bayou, even though we know it's not correct, because it checks another place for the O and the Y and the B. Okay, so the Y is third, sorry, as I thought it might be, but that still doesn't help. And it's obviously not mehr for another reason. We already knew that the A wasn't second, so it was never going to be mehr, even if we hadn't ruled out the M already. So the I and the Y are clearly going to be in different letters. The I second for Y, different words, sorry. The I second for Y third. They're not going to be in the same word. We still haven't got the first letter. So the only letter that we've definitely got that we haven't tried first is an A. Could it be A something Y? It's unlikely to be AI at the start of the word. So if it is abyss, there we go. And this is going to be vigor, probably, with an American spelling. Don't like that. Oh, it's rigor. Still an American spelling. I think it's got a U in English, so I'm going to use that as my excuse. But yeah, that was a tough one. Just about got there in time. Okay, and finally we're going to move on to fibble. So it lies to you once per row, as you can see there. And I find this comfortably the hardest. So again, it fills in a row with a random guess to start with. All we know is either there is a T, H, I or N. So if one of those is lying, then it has to be in the word. Or if the G is lying, then it has to be either not in the word at all, or it has to be green, which would mean it would be in the middle. So not a lot to go on. I might just try a completely different word and see what we get. Let's try a spare. Okay, we know exactly one of those letters is in the word now. That's not helped us too much. I'm going to try 5 new letters again. Could. Okay, so do we think it starts CO? What I might do is try another CO word, or combs even, because now if we don't get 2 greens at the start, that's very useful information. Oh, that's incredibly useful. So if there is no C or O, then these 2 are both lying in this word. If there's a C and an O, then they're both lying in this word. So the conclusion is there's exactly one or the other. So there's either a C here or an O here. If there's a C here, then that's a lie and that's a lie. And if there's the O instead, then that's a lie and that's a lie. So either way, all 6 of these letters must be true. So the lie is either the C or the O, one way or the other. So that's very, very helpful. We've ruled out quite a lot of letters there. Let's try. We haven't got. We've ruled out quite a lot of vowels. There can't be an A and an E. So I'm going to try. Let's try the C at the start. Let's try putting in the A. I wanted to try putting in the G somewhere. So let's try cigar. Right, so now we know that the C, this has to be the liar in this row, because we've already worked out that it's either green or grey, so it can't be yellow. So that's lying. Everything else in that row is true, which means that that is a liar in that row, which means there isn't a T, H, I or N. I think my logic works. We know that there isn't an A or an R. There isn't an S from down here, so there's either a P or an E, and probably there's got to be an E because we need some vowels. So actually this makes it more likely that maybe it's something O, something E, something. So maybe the O is correct instead of the C. So we've hardly got any consonants remaining. How about 4? Yeah, I know it can't be correct because of the R, but again, it might give us some information. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm thinking. Oh, I thought the E would be correct. So if the E is lying here and it is actually correct, then it's O-Y-E in the middle. So it could be. Oh, it couldn't be doyen. We can't have the D. Let's start marking these, because if, as you can see, when you flag one of these as a liar, it changes the colour down here, so it helps you work out more easily which letters you haven't used. So if this is accurate, we've marked one liar in each row. But what would the word be? We've got a consistent setup, by which I mean we've worked out a potential one liar in each row, but I'm not sure I can think of a word that fits. What would the last letter be? So maybe the E was wrong. I really want to know if that Y is correct, so I might try. Oh, I was going to try doyen again, like I said, but I don't want to try the Y and the E. Oh, how about royal? We know it's not correct again, because I'm pretty sure there can't be an L, and there definitely can't be an R and an A. So actually maybe that's a bad guess. I'm pretty sure there isn't an R or an A actually from this word. So actually maybe there's a P. If the E is the liar, sorry, if the E isn't in the word, then we've already ruled out the S, A and R, so there would have to be a P. So that could be the liar there. The P could be the liar, which just means we've got a P and an O. Oh, I don't like the look of any of those letters for the left though. Poppy? It could be correct, I think. Oh, 3 P's in one word. That's a very difficult one to guess, I think. I'm quite happy with my logic. I may have made a few logical leaps that weren't quite true, but looking at the letters that we had left at various stages, that felt like I'd ruled out quite a lot of options. So yeah, that was Poppy. I'm very relieved to get that. Looking at only having 2 guesses left, I thought I might fail my first attempt at this on the channel, but no, luckily got there in 6, because it gives you the first one. So I might try this again depending on feedback, but I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.